Welcome back, everyone. What's going on? Happy Thursday. We're almost there, guys. The weekend is in sights, and let's get into the July 25th Major League Baseball betting card, where I'm going to have four best bets, as well as a little bit of a sprinkle on more of a home run for you guys out there in the markets, where we're going to have kind of some great pitching matchups today that I'm looking forward to. So we'll have a few games rolling throughout the course of the day. Can't wait for a 4 o'clock start out there on the West Coast, which we'll get into a little bit later on. But let's get into it, guys. Quick recap from yesterday. We keep getting rained out within that Atlanta game. All right. I've been playing the Braves first five under four, waiting for the arrival of Chris Sale, and that has been postponed in back-to-back days. So unfortunately, that one was going to be voided, and we did go 2-1 yesterday on the card, losing the parlay of the day as always. That is just a flyer, not ever going to be a full unit play within that bet. That's just out there for fun, and we have. Went 2-1 again officially within the best bets. So we did cash the over Texas White Sox, thanks to some late game heroics where a lot of people say, well, you barely won that bet. Well, when you do make bets within baseball, you got to remember there's 9 innings, and if you score 10 in the first inning or 10 in the ninth inning, it's all part of the handicap, and it does not matter when those runs come. So as a total bettor, for the most part, you have to take it in consideration how that all plays out, right? There's no we almost won it. We barely won this. It doesn't work that way. Have to play within some of these handicaps are off of the bullpens. Well, bullpens don't really start the game unless they're going to staff a day. So that's kind of where I'm at with all that. So it was a kind of a wild ride, but it was all part of the handicap. I know you think I'm crazy, but I knew those runs were coming when Chicago got into their bullpen. And unfortunately, we did have the starter go a little bit later in the game, and that's how we ended up in that situation. But it all works out. It always does. And that was one of the bets we cashed. Baltimore over 8 as well. That was one where it landed on 9. Unfortunately, I thought it would be the other way around. I thought it would be 6-3, Baltimore over Miami. So we're going to get into that. And obviously losing the Dodgers run line plus 110 at plus money. That was a bet that, like I tell you guys, whenever the Dodgers are at home with plus money on the run line, it's more of a system play for me in terms of profitability. So that's it. That's what we got going on. If you haven't done so, guys, perfect time to subscribe down below. Smash that like button, and let's get down into it. Also, hop on over to the Discord. Check out our channel sponsor that we do have within oddsjam. You can see above at the top of your screen, and we do have a promo code for 30% off. Outstanding stuff with what they're doing. Like I said, when I make my bets here, I use oddsjam, even if I'm doing them in person, which I normally do. I do use oddsjam on a daily basis because it takes a lot of the time and puts it back in my pocket, and also lets me get the best number available. But that's just one of the features within oddsjam, so check it out for yourself, guys. Links down below. All right, now let's get into this card. This is one where we're going to have 4 best bets, and like I told you guys, a little bit of a home run sprinkle. The comments that I've been getting, some of the feedback, and I wanted to just address something real quick. I do the full video where we break down each and every game. I will give you guys my leans in every game, and as you know, we've been profitable the last few days here on the channel when we look at kind of just winning and losing bets, the overall record, so on and so forth. Also, the leans that I give you when I break down a game, maybe a little bit short, condensed, maybe something that I'm not betting, but there are a lot of people out there that, and I say it to myself kind of behind closed doors. Some days I wish I played only my leans because they sometimes sweep the board, even like 8-1, 8-2. So on a 15-game card, a lot of times those leans end up being a better avenue sometimes. So for the comment that I received, and I just want to address it kind of publicly, I'm not lashing out or upset. It's just kind of what I want to do because I do get it sometimes from time to time. So I do want to kind of share with you guys. I am going to break down each and every game. So that's kind of where it's going to be a longer video. If you don't like it, it's just, there's a lot of people out there that want the leans. They want the analysis from each game. So that's kind of where I'm at within that. So apologies if the video does run a little bit longer than some may like. Okay. But this is where we're at. The first game, like I told you guys, Cincinnati and the Braves. We do have kind of a weird one here. This is where we're going to have Actually, apologies. That was kind of a error on oddsjam. This was Wednesday's card, so just disregard that comment. It's just like I was like, "What are you guys talking about? The Braves are playing the Mets. This doesn't make sense." But yes, that was the Chris Sale game that keeps haunting me. I've literally bet the last couple of days, and it keeps getting postponed. All right, but it is Patrick Corbin Day out there in Washington, right? That's where we're going to have the San Diego Padres and the Washington Nationals squaring off. Patrick Corbin got his second win, so 2-9 on the season, right? Dylan Cease, a serviceable pitcher, but if you are getting in the way of what the Padres are doing, shame on you. They have been one of the hottest teams coming out of the All-Star break and kind of leading up to it, actually, in a matter of fact. So Padres on the run line, -1.5 at a basically even price, -108. That's what we're going to be taking. I know it's probably a sucker bet. You look at some of the betting splits and you can see all the numbers kind of backing what we're doing within the Padres. I mean, 94% of the money on that run line. So Padres are getting all the money. In terms of the money line, though, you do see the value taking the Nationals plus 162 now, plus 162. So I'm going to be playing the Padres on the run line. I usually do when Patrick Corbin's pitching, nonetheless. But if you do want some value, take the Nationals on the money line. That's something where plus 162. It's hard to turn down. I know those bets kind of contradict myself, but where I'm at within this game, you can actually kind of look to play a little hedge bet if you want to do that way. That's kind of like a weird kind of roulette strategy. It works sometimes, but it leaves you available to losing both bets in very few cases. But I will take that run line with the Padres as a first official play. All right, and then we will get into the Baltimore-Miami game. That will be one where I'm going to tell you guys about it, but I'm going to save it to the end of the game. I'm not going, or to the end of the video. I'm not going to do a money line parlay of the day today. I'm kind of going to do a little home run action, not necessarily in the form of prop betting, but we're going to go on a long shot here. But I want to give you guys my breakdown later on in this game or in this video. Detroit and Cleveland. All right, Detroit has not named a pitcher. Gavin Williams on the bump for Cleveland. This is a 165 money line where we're going to be looking at the Guardians to win this game. Gavin Williams to get his first win at home. I see it happening. This is a very strong lean, especially with the Tigers not announcing their pitcher. Look for the Guardians to continue their onslaught in the AL Central and continue to spread their lead. All right. So that's where we will be with a very strong lean and a possible bet. But this is a 110 first pitch, so getaway game out there here in the great state of Ohio. All right, Chicago and Texas. We look at the Rangers, another unbettable game, which I absolutely love. This is where we have the Rangers hosting the White Sox, a shell of themselves, -227 on the money line for the Rangers. Scherzer on the bump against Jonathan Cannon. I really want to play the Rangers here. There's a lot of teams that are heavy money line favorites. I just can't get behind that number. But if I did have to give you guys a money line parlay of the day, we would feature the Rangers as well as a couple other teams. So if you guys want to know more about that, hit me up on Discord. I'll post that one solely on Discord for those people out there that want that money line parlay of the day. And that way you guys can kind of go from there and kind of give you an incentive to go sign up and join us over on that. It's totally free, by the way. All right, but that's where we're at within that game. Like I said, no play. If you want to get behind the run line with the Rangers, go for it. I don't see as many runs as we had yesterday, but you never know with the Rangers. They have a propensity to win ball games 8-0, so it could happen on today as well. And then we are going to get to Tampa Bay and the Blue Jays. This is a lean on Tampa Bay, 108 on the money line. That's kind of where we're at. We look at Blue Jays throwing up that white flag, in my opinion. That's yet to be debated, but if I was going to bet this game, it would be in the form of the Rays on the money line. Okay, we will get to the next three games, which we do have official plays in. All right, coincidentally, we are, with the exception of the Braves and Mets, being the 7:10 first pitch, which I will be watching that game. I'm going to get to that one right now because then we're going to save the West Coast kind of games because we do have 3 or 4 out there on the West Coast. Or I should say West Coast teams because the Nationals are playing at home. But that's where we have the Braves and Mets. I've wanted to back Chris Sale in the start. I do look for the Braves to kind of lay an egg here a little bit offensively. They have not seen live pitching for a while. They did get that rain out in yesterday where they got that first leg of that twin bill. That was a very, very heavy offensive onslaught. I do look for Luis Severino to kind of close that window Just looking at that narrative, I'm going to go down that direction. We will take the the Mets under 7.5. Mets Braves under 7.5 minus 110. That's just where I'm at. That's my play. Hoping the bullpen doesn't let me down, but I think with these two starters, we keep this total relatively low, especially being a primetime slot. I know the Mets have been putting up a lot of runs. You saw them put up, I think, 13 against the Yankees yesterday. So there's nothing we can do about that other than hope for a great outing from Chris Sale. I'm a little worried that he's been kind of getting up and activated the last 2 days, and then those games getting postponed. So this will be a contingent bet. So make sure on your sports books, if you have a way to lock in this total, only contingent on the pawn both these pitchers starting, that's what you have to do. But that will be an official play under 7.5. Why not? Okay. Then we will get into these West Coast games, okay? And I'm going to save the best for last, but I am going to be kind of removing the Oakland Athletics off of my do not bet list, and they are firmly into my bet list, all right? And I know Ross Stripling's pitching 1-9 on the season, almost a 6 ERA, and the Oakland Athletics are essentially a zombie walking in terms of hope and what they have going for them, but I'm starting to catch a little drift of where they're at, and the market has not caught up to the Athletics in their offensive numbers. They're hitting the cover off the baseball. I don't care who they're going against. Now we have Kenny Rosenberg on the bump for the Angels. The Angels fail to score runs. I think they'll get a few against Stripling, but in this matchup, I do see a lot of value. Minus 105, taking the Athletics on the money line. This may be a multiple unit play for me, and watch, it's the first time that I'm catching up to this, and the Oakland Athletics may slap me in the face, and I think that, you watch, they will not convert, and they'll get whitewashed by the Angels, but I think the value's there. The betting splits agree with me. Like I said, the Angels at home, very, very low propensity to win ball games, and I do like taking sometimes the team that you're down and out on to win on the road more times than not, and that's kind of what we're looking at with an Oakland. They took 2 or 3 Houston, and then the last series against the Angels, they were able to, I believe, take 2 or 3 as well, winning with margin too. So a little Athletics reverse run line. Don't be scared of that as well, but that will be on my card. Probably my biggest unit play will be that minus 105 Oakland Athletics on the late night game at 9:38 first pitch. Okay, and then the last game before we get into kind of that home run play will be the Giants and Dodgers. And I wanted to save this one for last too because it's a great matchup on paper. Clayton Kershaw returning to action. Can't wait to watch this one. 4:10 first pitch, Dodger Stadium. Going against Logan Webb. All right, now Logan Webb is a familiar foe for the Dodgers lineup. They're very used to him. I think this is where, yes, his numbers are have been pretty serviceable. I do think the Dodgers get to him, though, and especially coming off a loss. Love the Dodgers in this matchup. Minus 134 on the money line. If you want to get a little risque, you can do the Dodgers on the run line as well. How far will Clayton Kershaw go into the game? How effective will he be? That is the only thing that has me worried, but I do think that the Dodgers lineup rallies around him and they end up getting some runs. So minus 134 for the Dodgers is a bet that I'm going to be making as my 4th official play. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at. I do want to touch base on this Miami Baltimore game. Miami, for that matter, has been one of those teams that has been wrecking parlays, wrecking straight bets, so on and so forth. And I know this is probably a little bit late to the party, but we are going to do a little bit of a sprinkle here. In some markets, you're able to get the Marlins plus 2.5 there on that run line, minus 114. All right, that's where we're going to be looking to attack this from a half unit positive run line bet and a half unit on the Miami Marlins money line. Okay, I've talked a little bit about it in previous videos. Plus 234 there on the money line, and I know everybody's going to be saying Corbin Burnes is pitching. He's an all-star, Cy Young candidate. Baltimore's lost. They've lost back-to-back games. Okay, they've lost 3 straight, 2 of them against Miami. They haven't scored more than 3 runs in their last 3 games. Well, Rodri Munoz is that pitcher that will let you do that, and they could have that bounce-back spot here. I personally expect Baltimore to score at least 8 runs in this game, but this is something where I look for them to shut the door on Miami. This is probably in some form or fashion a sucker bet. And if you put a gun to my head and ask me which the Baltimore Miami game, how would you bet it? I would take Baltimore to win -2.5. I firmly believe that. However, there is no value on that. Okay, you take that. There's a chance for a backdoor. -1.5 is -152, and there's no way in hell I'm betting a $2.56 money line for the Baltimore Orioles. So if you were going to play this game, it would be the best bet I would play would be over -119. However, or a Baltimore team total over. However, I do see some value in just the potentiality that for some form or fashion, Baltimore's lineup is just struggling. So you never know. Sometimes you come out of an all-star break in a funk. The hitters are in slumps. They had a couple there in the game. But within this, that's where I'm going to be at. I'm taking Baltimore. I'm taking Miami kind of on a long shot, +234 on the money line, half unit play, as well as that +2.5 on the -114 odds on that run line. So that's just in hopes that Miami wins the game, but also if they don't, maybe they win 3-1, 4-2, and we still cash on that and break even. So I'm just kind of taking a little flyer, giving myself a little bit of insurance too along the way. So if we lose this bet, fine. We've been kind of profitable the last few days. So this is just something where I'm playing the value, trying to hit that +234 for half unit, and we'll see what happens. So just to recap, these are my best bets. Padres run line, Dodgers money line, Oakland money line. The Oakland play may be a 2-unit play. I haven't made my mind up yet. Firmly, I haven't bet that, full disclosure. And the Mets under 7.5 at a -110 price. And to go along with, like I said, that home run play within the Miami and the Baltimore Orioles game. So that's what I got for you guys. Appreciate you watching. Smaller card here, little getaway as we get into the weekend. Make sure you all hit that subscribe button down below. Smash that like button as well. And we'll see you guys all in the next video tomorrow. Good luck with your picks. Cheers.